Kim tulikuwa tuna watch TV, ilikuwa inawekelewa kitu juu. You see like this screen. Initially it's black and white. Inawekelewa kitu juu, colored, ndio muone kama iko na colors. That is how bad it was. You get. The other day I was thinking, in my childhood at an age of someone who is a Gen Z, ilikuwa very rare kusikia mtu commit suicide. Actually, I don't know someone from my past mwenye naweza kutajia ati this person committed suicide. Right now, I can bet you know someone who has committed suicide.
Wengi.
Not even one, right? I can bet you have a friend who is depressed.
Akia tukua baya. Sinu kweli. Sisi vichwa hivyo. But I think you guys used to exaggerate kidogo. Kwanza mkianza kutuambia vile mambo mnaenda shule. Ai.
Kwenda shule.
Sisi sijui tunavuka misijui mito 7. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the VoiceandVisionPodcast. I'm your host Eddie Kim, representing the Gen Zs. Today we'll be unpacking millennials and Gen Z are really that different. And joining me is a very wonderful guest, Sue.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm a millennial born between 1990 to 97. Hapo tu katikati.
Sitawaambia millennials wamezaliwa between 1981 to 1996.
Yeah. So I'm a millennial.
1997 to 2012. Yay. And maybe as you start off, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit of yourself?
Susan is a wife to one and a mother of two. A proud millennial, I would say. Yeah, basically, that's me.
That's so.
Yeah.
And let's start with the basics. Gen Z and millennials, we were born, we grew up under different cultures.
True.
For instance, I would imagine a world without smartphones. How was it for you?
Well, interesting
How?
question. Because our era, or what we call the millennial age now, we are born between not having internet, not having all this technology, and we get again now to experience technology. Before all these things came, it was new. It was an experience that I don't know how to explain it. Unajua Kim, tulikuwa tuna watch TV, ilikuwa inawekelewa kitu juu. You see like this screen. Initially it's black and white. Inawekelewa kitu juu, colored, ndio muone kama iko na colors. That is how bad it was, you get. But now we've gone from that, and we've seen nikiwa mdogo hivi hata simu kidogo, labda nikiwa nimeingia primary school ndio naona labda mzae yako na simu.
Naweza kumbuka kasimu kashosho kengine kalikuwa kanaoka yellow, right? Blue, whatever.
So see, and simu ilikuwa moja mta, yani it was like one phone in like 10 families. You get? So seeing that transition from zero technology, juu tulianza na radio, labda you are very privileged kuwa na TV. Now that is technology. Now I'm talking about iyo technology ya nyuma hivyo. TV was a privilege. Yani familia wako na TV wewe.
Yeah, squeezing the basic need.
Wewe. TV. People used to gather in other people's homes, like kuna kipindi fulani watu huona, so you do all your chores at home so that at that particular time, maybe it's 7 in the evening, nyinyi wote mnagather in that house. Na niyo ya black and white. Sasa wale wenye wako more privileged wako na hiyo ka screen ilikuwa inawekelewa juu with some colors, so that unaona kama hao watu wako na color. See where we are from. But I believe this generation is a special generation because we've grown from not having any technology to like a lot of it. We get to experience not having and having
Plenty of it.
See, plenty of it. So it's a great generation, and we get to learn and adapt and move with what is happening. Yeah.
Allow me to ask you this. Do millennials find it easy to adapt change? Maybe due to that process, you've grown up with no technology at all until to the place we are today. And like sisi tumepata everything
Eco.
there. So sisi to change, adapting to change, it's a bit
easy.
hard.
Yeah,
it's a bit hard for us.
It's a bit hard for you.
No, for you, how is it?
For us, we are a bit hesitant, but at the end of the day, they are like, maybe in my work environment, lazima nikuwe ati natumia technology, lazima nikuwe na simu, lazima ni, maybe my kids have to use these gadgets even in school. Maybe in CBC they are supposed to you're supposed to buy them some gadget, they're supposed to do homework with some gadgets. So you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You have to blend in with whatever is happening right now. So I would not say we are hesitant to get to that, to get to what now you guys are experiencing. And then I believe millennials are smart. You would ask me. They are smart. We are from a generation where creativity for us was, I would say we are more creative. Sijitetei sana, but I would say we are more creative. Unajua sisi, we didn't have like phones or ati tuko na vitu mingi za kucheza ati indoors. You have a lot of things being bought for you by your parents. You have kids have tablets, cocomelon, what you get. Ours was totally different. Ni utoke huko, ujue kutengeneza ball ya makaratasi na uzi juu, utoke huko, ujue kutengeneza gari, ujue kutengeneza, we had to be creative to have fun. So that's the difference.
So talking about that, ukiangalia si tumesema zetu is more of kukaa kwa nyumba,
kujipata tu uko kwa nyumba. Yeah.
Does that resort to, I think millennials mnatuitaga lazy. What's your take on that?
Okay. Sitaki kurushiwa mawe.
Mnatuitaga lazy.
Sitaki kurushiwa mawe, but being honest, creativity ya millennials iko way uko juu, because you get to, from your background, from the age of 2, from the age of 3, you are doing things outdoors. You are doing things that right now nikiambia mtoto wangu anitengenezee ball, unless nimsaidie, she will have no idea what she's doing. We would build things, we would build houses on mud, we would do a lot of creative things. Now with the internet, I don't think you need to be that creative, do you? No, you don't.
Internet kidogo.
Uko na internet kidogo. There is AI. We used to write notes. Tuseme mtu alikuwa uni sometime back, lazima andike notes. Sisi unaingia tu na lapi AI, you do your thing. Wewe utasikiza tu.
Sikuzi ufikiria tulikataa nayo.
So why would I not say you are lazy?
Okay, fine. I wouldn't call it laziness.
What would you call it?
Tuweke this way. Umegrow up ukijua kufanya kazi. Basically.
Yeah.
Kucheza active. Sisi unlike sisi tuko zile mostly tumetulia. Games, video games, nyi mko more active.
Yeah.
Ukiangalia nicho za nyumba kidogo nyuma nifanya. Sisi tumekuja unapata house girl kwa nyumba.
True. We?
Sasa mbona witelize?
We, true that.
Itakuwa laziness. Mimi siwezi ita laziness.
What would you call it? I don't know what word you would use, because now it limits you to be creative. Whatever you don't want to go out there and experience something else. You get? But I think it's because you don't have a choice. This is what you know. This is what you've been brought up this way. But look at it this way. Mimi nilizaliwa kama hakuna TV, lapi, you get simu. But right now I can do with whatever I have. So I've adapted to what is here. But my creativity bado ijaisha, iko tu bado. I would do things this way, I would do things this way. So maybe tuseme Gen Z, tuseme hawana ile inaitwa, what would I call it, to want to explore, to want to do something different. You get? It is what they have come to experience. That is what they run with. Okay, which is I think, okay, maybe we can stop calling them lazy, but
It's not laziness.
okay. Yeah, it's okay. I think I agree with you on
It's
that.
not laziness.
Yeah.
It's just the
it's
way you've
what
grown.
you've come to adapt to from your environment.
But I think Gen Zs and millennials, we are not that different. Ukiweka hivi, ukiangalia kuna hii generation nyingine imekuja juzi. I think they have worse. Wamepata kila kitu. Alex sisi, of course tukiwa toi, hakuwa na story na Instagram na whatever.
Yeah, true.
Hazikuwa. So again nafikiria pia sisi tulijaribu kuadapt. Ni ati teenage age yetu imetupata na hizi vitu, unlike nyinyi haikuwapata nazo.
Okay. Well,
So I think kuna similarity hapo.
kuna similarity, but for us growing up, the only internet we had maybe was kuna to app tulikuwa tunaitwa to go. That was like WhatsApp, the old version of WhatsApp, but you didn't need a smartphone. I think you just needed a phone, any kind of phone.
Go ni ajisikia go.
To go. Research utajua. To go ilikuwa the
guys tuameni kwa comment kama unajua to go ni gani. Mimi sijui to go.
Kulikuwa na to go. And then Facebook was
but I think Facebook ni take around 2015 2014.
Yeah, that was that. There was nothing before that. There wasn't TikTok nini.
So before that ni fence.
Yeah, exactly.
Na kurusha mawe.
Okay, there was phones. What we could do was maybe the only way we would communicate. Now I'm talking in Kenya. Unajua kuna places zingine zenye technology yao, IT has been there for a long time. But in Kenya, labda kama nyinyi kwenyu ni masource ama mkona, you would get to know what is happening out there. But for us it was just texting, Facebook, nothing much.
Tuingilie social media kidogo, hata vizuri umetaja Facebook. Millennials sijui tawatetea aje. Millennials angalia they are more of Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
And like sisi tutapata TikTok mara mingi.
Yeah.
How is that?
We are kind of laid back, I think. You know, with if you would compare what is in TikTok, in what else, Instagram, what else there, what else,
Whatever, Instagram, Facebook, there is Twitter, X.
Telegram, what you see, there is a lot of maybe putting yourself out there as compared to maybe Facebook. Maybe they are similar, but now the Gen Zs, I think they are the generation that came up with things like content creation. They are creative, they are very creative as compared to what we had. The Gen Zs are creative. Hatuwezi compare na
like content wise,
content creation, and then they have been able to monetize whatever they are doing. They have been able to earn from that is the positive of whatever is happening. But there is a downside to it. Again, there is so much bad influence happening kwa net. Mob sana. Like the other day I was thinking, in my childhood at an age of someone who is a Gen Z, ilikuwa very rare kusikia mtu commit suicide. Actually, I don't know someone from my past mwenye naweza kutajia ati this person committed suicide. Honestly, sijui. Ni wale tu ulikuwa unasikia na huko ati kuna msi alijinyonga, hata wewe umjui. Right now, I can bet you know someone who has committed suicide.
Wengi.
Not even one, right? I can bet you have a friend who is depressed. na ni mambo yenye ina lead watu to whatever is happening right now is what you get to absorb from the internet. That would be my take, what you get to absorb from there. Kama sasa nilikuwa naonanga watu wanapewa pressure na whatever everyone else is doing. You see people, they have it big, that is what you want. Sijui wengine wameingilia sijui mambo yenye haiko so that you can
actually the term mental health nimesikia sana Gen Z.
Exactly.
I think nyinyi mko na story
mental health.
Hiyo term hata sidhani mlikuwa mkitumia.
Mental health hakukuwa na mental health. Yani sijai at my age, I wouldn't at that lower age, hiyo age ya chini siwezi sema naweza sema kuna mtu nilikuwa najua ako na mental health issues. Maybe they were there but mi siwajui. But there is a lot of that. There is a lot of knowledge iko na this era that has come with the internet. Stories are rights, stories are nini, you get to have unlimited rights. Ati sahi mtoto wangu anaweza diambia
I know my rights.
I know my rights. What did I know about at her age? Mi hata constitution labda nilikuja kujua kuna constitution na huko maybe nikiwa high school. Sasa tukianza kuambiwa there is the constitution.
I think you know ime resort Gen Z hakuna kitu wanaogopaga.
Exactly. That is what they
I think you know the tough side of the police. Mnawajua vizuri. Sisi hatujui. Sisi tumegrow up kijua our rights.
I know.
Mwezi kuinaweza insult police.
At my right, I didn't even know I had rights. Mzazi anakugonga kama nyoka. Hakukuwa ati rights ni what do you mean?
Unabaki unashangaa kwani ilikuwa attempted murder.
I know. Like what do you mean rights? Like it's so different. Ati sahi mtoto wangu, she's 7 years old, but she will tell you kuna children rights. Teacher alisema well sisi hakuna
mwalimu. Ucheza kidogo utapata alipiga simu.
I tell you it was so different. Mwalimu na mzazi, they made our lives difficult back then. Okay, maybe if we were not brought up that way, tungekuwa gaidi kuliko wenye wako sasa.
Kuliko wale tuka.
Nakwambia, I tell you, they molded us. That is the way we got to know. I think our parents, having been raised by ex-mau, you get, wazazi wao walikuwa wase wenye walikuwa
wewe ni mtu
to get
kukupanga vita hata.
So they are hardened, and that is how that is what they know. So how would you raise your kid? That is how you know. But now with us and the kids we are bringing up, we get to have a lot of information. There is a lot of information out there, not only for us as parents, but also as the kids. They also have information. Ati mtoto anaweza kuambia I know my rights.
Ukicheza atapigia simu.
Exactly.
Hakuna hata namba.
There is nothing you can do about it. Kitambo hata siku anajua stories za rights, ati naweza ambia mzazi I know my rights.
Unapigwa na neighbor huko.
Unapigwa.
Utaenda kuripoti tunaongeza.
Let me tell you. You used to be beaten by your parent. Hata before uchapwe na mzazi utakuwa umechapwa na mama fulani tu, umepatana kwa barabara ukifanya mambo zako. Anakuja anakusema, unarudiwa vita na mzazi. It was that bad, you get, and there is nothing you could do about it. But I think if that is not the way we were raised, I don't know what we would have turned out to be. Maybe it was a good thing. I don't know whether to call it a good thing, but anyway, that was that. That is how we grew up.
Says it a good thing, it's more of kuwa civilized. Jua mtupigi hivyo, lakini hatukuwa baya. Si ni kweli? Sisi vicho hivyo.
Hata karibu niseme no comment. What?
Nilikuwa uncivilized. Juu sasa I think squeeze you are more of kutuongelesha.
Yeah, we get
to chini
tuongee and we talk.
Tuone ni aje.
Lakini hakuwezi kosa beating 1-2 hapo tu katikati. Once in a while unaona.
But I think pia Gen Z wamekuwa influenceana ukiangalia from high school.
Yeah.
Unaenda mnapatana na cool kids shule.
Exactly.
Ako zile za mimi mzae hawezi nipiga whatever. Ukikumbuka vile unapiga, hivyo unaenda home unakosha kichwa. I think Gen Z is more of influenceana.
Yeah. And whatever they are exposed to. that is something we were not exposed to. Ama our parents wangefanya nini? We did, like, communication was very minimal. I would count the number of times I've had a conversation maybe with my dad. You get, it's not that he was not present, he was present, but mnaonana once in a while. Like, he used to be very busy, tuseme anaenda job before utoke asubuhi. He'll come back when you're asleep. You get to see him on Saturday or on Sunday, and it's not that you have a conversation, no, labda uitishe kitu hauna. Ati ukoaje
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know whether ukoaje was there, but they were present, but the idea of presence was not what we have today. Right now there's a lot of presence in
parenthood.
in parent children, like they have like a lot of connection. Mtoto mtaanza kuongea naye hata akiwa from a very low age, have discussions. I've seen parents really bonding with their kids. Ati sahi unaonanga hadi kuna mtoto anaweza end out na mzazi wake. That is unheard of in that era. Ati mpatane na mzazi wako mahali fulani and all is good.
Actually, I can attest to that, because for me, I think since I was very young, tumegrow na mapero mpaka sahi tuko always available, always up, talks and everything. So I think ni progress mzuri, mliamua mtakuwa kama wazazi wenu.
Yeah, I think
ni vizuri.
With the experience, now you want to have a change of things. I like, sometimes you find yourself telling yourself, like, I would not want the relationship maybe I had with my dad or my mom, or to feel the way I used to feel with my kids, you get. But I think we can't blame them. That is what they knew. That is what they had been taught, or what had happened to them. So what would they have done better?
Nothing.
Then there was no, like, the kind of information that we have today. So I don't blame them. I think that is what they had to do.
It's good that civilization inaendelea.
Yeah, civilization tu inaenda ikiendelea.
Tulikuwa part ya social media. Do you think millennials misuse the social media more than the Gen Zs?
Millennials. I think the Gen Zs misuse social media more than millennials. Most millennials are not into... Okay, they are there. The question I would ask is, what would we term as misuse of social media?
I think to overuse.
Yeah. Because
I think that's the main form of misuse.
The main form of misuse.
To overuse.
Overusing, but I think it starts from a lower age. Like now, unaonanga mtoto wa maybe 3 years akona tablet. So mtoto life yake hajui outdoors, hajui nini, anajua ni aketi pale aone whatever they want to see on the internet or everything unaget. So I think the Gen Zs are misusing social media more than the millennials. The millennials are more laid back. See the kind of apps you're using. To say Facebook, most of, like now I'm 100% sure huna Facebook. True or false? See, huna. So that is what most of millennials are using. Facebook, maybe WhatsApp, you get. And Facebook does not like take up more time. Like you want to do TikTok, you want to do Reels, you want to do that, you get. So they are more laid back as compared to...
Actually, I remember there was a day mamangu alishika simu yangu. Actually, apps zangu social media zote nakuwa kwa icon kamoja. Aliona social media kama sita. Na sina kwa idol.
Exactly. Why do you get all that idol? Why do you get all that time? But then again, there is an upside of it, because you would be using that for making content or getting something for yourself. Kuna watu wanafanya a lot in the internet to benefit ama wanapata do out of whatever they are doing. So there is good misuse, then there is bad misuse. Kuna wenye tu wako tu online doing a lot of nothing, hauna yani end game yako ni nini? Hakuna.
Huko tu. Na inawekaga hasira, mbele kwa tumetulia tu.
Unaona sijui the only thing you see is na jamaa fulani sijui tulikuwa na yeye wapi, sasa hii akona bima, akona nini, amenunua, you get. And that does not affect you positively. Kwa sababu sasa you start comparing yourself na huyo mtu.
Hakuna kitu mbaya kama kujicompare, hata goals hautaweza kuzicheza. Utakuwa tu unaangalia huyu ako hivi ako hivi.
Yeah, you need to get to know that most of the times whatever you see on social media again is fake. It's most of it is not as real as you may think. Unaweza kuona huyo mtu ako hapo ako na dem ama ako na boy and you think they are having it good, but at the end of the day
for the cameras.
It's all for the cameras.
Uko hapo umejipea pressure.
Like jana nilikuwa naona something on the news that broke my heart. So there is this guy, he's 27, so I think a 27-year-old is a Gen Z.
Gen Z.
He got stabbed 27 times by the girlfriend. You get 27 times. It was on the news yesterday. Okay, of course I watch news. I'm a millennial.
Sisi news tunangoja social media.
Unangoja social media, sindio? So I think, and it broke my heart. I was thinking maybe kuna watu walikuwa naona hawa watu wawili, maybe wana post on Instagram on what they are doing, reels on TikTok, they are doing videos on TikTok, they are doing like all these couple goals and stuff like that. Thinking these people are getting it right in life, thinking this is what I admire, this is what I want, or this is the kind of life I want. But there is a downside. Maybe these people are not happy. Kufika mahali ati una stab mtu 27 times.
Kitu serious.
That's a lot. So sometimes tunaonanga mambo ikiwa rosy, you see mtu ako smart, but you don't know what is happening behind the scenes. So that influence, na ndio maana watu hata wako na mashida za mental health, because now that is what controls you.
Inakusumbua kichwa.
That is what you want.
The person is just there for the views.
Yeah, you don't know that person is just there for the views. You don't know the reality of what is happening. Unaona tu vitu, but behind the scenes you don't know. And that is what you want for yourself.
Ujue jamaa alipata hiyo Mercedes.
Ujue
jamaa alipata je Mercedes na
alipata hiyo Mercedes aje, ama alipata hiyo bima aje, ama yani whatever they have, you don't know. You don't know. And now admiring whatever they are doing becomes hard for you, for your mind, your mental state becomes a mess. Huwezi progress. Unafikiria maybe watu wengine wame progress kuliko, what am I not doing, or what should I do different?
I think you know major challenge na Gen Z.
Yeah.
Kujicompare, because we'll find for instance I was living in a bed sitter. I moved to a one bedroom. I'll be happy. But hearing your friends have moved from bed sitter to two bedroom, itakukula kichwa, utakuwa zile za. Sasa hata utasikia vizuri umeingia one bedroom yako. So I think the main challenge na Gen Z ni kujicompare.
They compare each other.
They comparing.
Ndio maana unaona hadi kuna jinafika, tuseme uko shule, mzazi Kenya ameweza, labda uko kole Kenya ameweza ni kukununulia just a few things. You are living in a bed sitter, you have whatever, mostly saidia ladies. You get to have a friend who is living in a one bedroom, who has everything, akona 52 inch, akona nini, you get, anaenda out vile anataka. And what do? Not after tu mbaba.
Kuna kitu kingine.
What else would your parents cannot provide? Unatafuta mbaba because you want to fit in. You want to be like everyone else. You get. So you get to emulate whatever they are doing.
I think also to Gen Z is a challenge. You see these upcoming content creators.
Yes.
pia unapata they are not getting enough from content creation. Lakini kujaribu kuweka class ashendia loans and whatever. Sasa kama mimi mtu hapo ataniona host of VoiceandVision podcast, tuko kwa matatu, sasa sisi feel comfortable.
I know right.
Kijana kwa TV then I think Gen Z ndio iko shida ku appreciate kitu tuko nayo.
Exactly, there's a problem.
Sasa unapata huyo mtu content creator ndo ashapata jina. Lakini pesa hakuna. But lazima fake. Ukishajekelea loans ushafanya mambo ifanye.
Unataka hiyo good life. Unataka
mimi ukinishika kwa matatu na mali kibandaski nataka
muelewe.
bado natafuta.
Kindly understand.
Kindly. Let's talk about stereotypes. Millennials ni watu wa pumpkins, githeri.
Nakwambia githeri.
On a serious note, mimi sijui mtaita maringo ama ni nini. Mimi githeri I think nakula mara moja kwa mwaka. Simply because najaribu kuexplain hivi hata kwa maadhi najaribu kuambia surely wewe umekewa. Sasa naweza sema kama nini, wewe umekewa samaki hapa na wewe si mtu wa samaki, literally utaki kula, si taste inifurahishi, yani hakuna kitu hata moja yake inanifurahisha. How is that my fault? Sipendi kitu.
Let me tell you.
Avana sielewi how is it my fault? Sitaki, siwezi kukula.
Let me tell you.
So for instance wewe kabisa ukulagi pork. Pork ni tamu, lakini kabisa utaki. Kwani fault yako aje utaki kuikula?
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. So, mimi kama sasa kula githeri, sitaki juu.
Utaki, it's not your thing.
Exactly.
That is the freedom you have now. You have the freedom to express yourself that way.
Juza mimi nakaga hizo nyingine najiuliza. Yaani sio mtu atakaje kwa nyumba leo, nitapika nini sasa? Githeri.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
Sasa nataka tufikie hapo mpaka mahali sasa imekuwa mlizoeshwa mpaka sasa ikakuika kwa DNA ama ni aje?
Yeah, actually githeri mlikuwa mnaweka githeri kwa nyungu ina boil. Ikienda kuisha kabla ile iishe mshaekelea ingine. It had to be there. Githeri had to be there all the time. Na ukianza kucomplain mzazi anakuambia ona gitirari ganererio. It's not a
must. Just kuzi wazazi unasikia ni ugathie kwa kuni ukorua keleo kwenda.
Sasa ona gitirari ganererio, you know, you can have it or you don't. That is what we have. So do whatever you want. Na hata huku ana hiyo time ya you are too tired or you are too overworked or you are
kuchagua kitu ya kukula.
Imagine umetoka shule, umeenda umechota maji, there's a time there was no tap water. Mimi nimechota maji na mtungi. Nimechota maji na mtungi, umetoka shule, umeenda umechota maji, you have homework, saa hiyo kuna challenges hata hakuna electricity, there are lamps, you are too tired. Hata time ya kufikiria mzazi amenipikia githeri ama malenge ama unakula tu. Hii story ishe, go and continue with life. Uende shule kesho maisha iendelee. There was no hakukuwa na hizo choices mingi. Sasa kuna choice, a lot of choices. What would your parent afford? Vitu zingine mtu amekuja kuzijua saa hii. There are things you didn't know. Kenya iko ndio iko. Labda ujue ugali, ujue mchele, ujue githeri. Everything else. Nyama mlikuwa mnakula once in a while. Labda babako anatoka na huko anakuja.
Ni ile siku amekuja home.
Exactly. You get. So you didn't have much of a choice. Unlike you guys. Saa hii mtoto hata atakwambia mimi sikuli hiyo, nataka hii. Jua naiona pale. Hapa una choice. Kama sasa mtoto wangu nitapika ugali, niseme nipike na skuma ama mboga or anything else. Na anaona mayai pale. Atakwambia mimi sitaki ugali na whatever you've cooked, nipe mayai. Na utampea tu juu iko.
But we have to agree it's not our fault. To agree.
Again, yes.
Juu kama utaki kitu utaki.
Kama utaki.
Juu sasa ngombe mimi hata naweza toka mahali sijakula kitu siku mzima. Niko ile nja serious. Na githeri ikiwa imagine sitakula.
Mimi actually
kama ni vile tu nimekwambia wewe kama ukulagi poka utaikula juu utaki. The same case happens to me. So it's not our fault.
It's not your fault.
It's not our fault to try kukula.
Okay,
ni kama
true.
sikuli.
Ni sawa. I've seen that a lot with my kids though. At their age, they know what they want and they know what they don't want.
Mko na option.
There's no option. Wewe kula kama unakula. Like
I think inakuja pia kwa modern families za siku hizi wako zile wanaulizana jioni leo tunakula nini?
Sisi ati unaulizwa na
kitu iko ndo
mnaulizwa na nani? What is there is what you get to have. You get. Hakukuwa na hiyo abundance ya vitu ati kuna spaghetti pale, kuna mayai pale, ati you can just go to the kitchen, do your thing, ati wake up in the morning, take juice, you want a fruit. Hey, my friend. Hakukuwa na kitu kama hiyo. You get. So
sasa wanaweza piga githeri alafu kuna noodles kwa duka ni 50 boba.
Exactly. Go do noodles. You get. Mimi yani we got so used to it. Mimi nakaanga hivi nasikia na ninataka kukula githeri na nitaipika na nikule. I think we could get used to it. Unaona hata mkipika ugali ama mpike mchele kulikuwa na githeri. Iko tu mahali tu.
Yaani hiyo ni stock hiyo iko sagi.
Unasikia?
Mkakosa hiyo labda kuna drought huko kuna njaa ya nyumba.
Nyungu ikimalizika ikienda kuisha mnaambiwa wekeleni nyingine. That was us.
But hata ukisema story ya kuzoeshwa nikiwa high school our mom during holidays fridge ilikuwa ina githeri imejaa yani imejaa yote.
That is what she knows. That is what even ndivyo unaweza ona hiyo githeri anakula peke yake labda na mzai wako mostly ni yetu ataikula because it's something we have grown tukijua. And I think our lifestyle ya hiyo siku ilikuwa I would call it more healthy. There was nothing much.
It's actually healthy. Ukiangalia hata life expectancy I think imepungua.
It was very much healthy because hizi ni mahindi na maharagwe mnaenda hapo kwa shamba.
On a serious note sasa vile sasa unapata mtu kwa miaka 20 na sijui ako na diabetes ako na high blood pressure.
Because of the unhealthy eating or lifestyle yenye tume adapt ya what we feed on. Unaweza compare mtu wa back then coming from Kenya or maybe in a village wachana na watu wa Maju and stuff like that. Mnakula food imeboiliwa haina mafuta, waru zinaboiliwa nini nyeni zinawekwa everything you used to take you'd have like even sometimes bush meat vijana wameenda na huko wameshika kitu na get it was authentic yani haikuwa na that much. Now everything you get to buy. Unajua hata unga imeprocessiwa. Kuna time unga mahindi ilikuwa inapigwa na mawe inakuwa unga you get. So it is yani ni kitu yenye hija processiwa iko tu. It's not been taken through a factory process.
Actually last holidays nilikuwa very ashamed very tukiusha go. Mimi na kwa design shushu yangu walinua mtungi ya 20 liters. Zile alichukua kayekelea na tunaongelelea miaka 70s.
Exactly.
Nilishangaa.
That is a strong person. Maybe the things maybe hata mimi naweza fanya physically labda wewe huwezi fanya. Okay, mimi si mzee sana but unasikia mimi nimechota maji kwa mto. Nimebeba maji na kamba hivi kwa mgongo. Get. So wewe hata hiyo ujui nini you don't know. You don't even know how to tie a knot ya ati ni mtungi ama kuni. You don't know what that is. So experience yangu na kuwa hardened na kufanya mambo mzito
kwa that's why we talked of nyinyi mko more physical work kufanya kazi
physical
sisi more kazi za hapa
kuona internet kukaa kwa nyumba. That's where now creativity tulikuwa tunaongea kuhusu creativity, you would find that millennials are more creative. They would come up with more ideas as compared to the Gen Z because of the experience they have had. But that's my view anyway.
And now how do we bridge the gap? What do you think millennials can learn from Gen Zs? And as Gen Zs, what can we learn from you? Tuanze na kitu mnaweza learn kutoka kwetu. As a way of bridging the gap. Just the main question of the day.
Yeah.
Are we really
How do
that different?
We're not really that different because in terms of every other thing yenye tumeongelelea kuhusu, we would not say like Gen Zs are not creative. They are creative in their own way. In their own, there is a specific part where they are creative. And I get the same way as the millennials. Hakuna venye tunaweza sema tuko na so much difference. Maybe in terms of upbringing, venye tumebringiwa up, it's so different from how people are being brought up right now. Very different upbringing, different. So whatever you have as morals, as venye we unajibeba as a person, mental health. We're not saying we are not getting people who are millennials who are having mental health issues.
I think mental health and vocabulary tumeanza kuitumia
right now.
Yeah.
Ati unajua mtu wako depressed. Labda hiyo time yetu kulikuwa na watu walikuwa nakuwa depressed, but we don't know.
Depression ikitupa panga labda. Labda ulipoteza jembe ya mzazi.
You get.
Sasa hivi tu ni mingi.
Yeah.
Imagine unapata mtu ako teenager 14 years unapata vitu anafikiria hata.
That's why it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare Gen Zs and millennials. Why? Or any other generation that imepewa jina. Why? Like right now, the alphas are very different from maybe the Gen Zs, because whatever they are having now or the way they are being brought up, hata mimi vile na bring up mtoto wangu si venye we Gen Z uli bring him up. It's different. Na get. So there is no way of really comparing or saying this is how we should be the same, or this is how we should be different, because we've been brought up in different eras.
That's true.
Mambo yenye sasa nakwambia ni mambo sasa, unajua huwezi anza kusema sasa nitakuwa naenda kwa mto nichote maji ama nitakuwa nafanya nini. You literally cannot stay away from your phone for
30 minutes.
Even right now.
Not unless nimelala.
Exactly. Not unless ulale.
Hata ukilala kitu ya kwanza kuamka hata huja confirm kama unaongea.
Simu. Hapo ndio una confirm unaona. Sasa unaona what is up. You get? So that is what you know. Mimi naweza kaa hata bila hii simu for a whole day.
Mimi kuna siku nimepeleka simu yangu ilikuwa na issue, ilikuwa na Nairobi kufixiwa for 3 days.
You got sick.
Yeah. Ugonjwa ukweli.
Yeah.
Unaamka 3 unafanya nini usiku?
Yeah.
After umeamka.
You got sick.
Hey.
You see, because there's nothing else to do, you just want to be in that space. You just
basically hata kwa tunafanya hiyo simu utaingia tu ufanye.
Uone, uangalie, uone.
Lakini ukabila.
Hata si upigie mtu, because like for me, basically it's functional because I'll call someone, I'll get to know watoto wako aje ama stuff like that, una get. But for you, ni uchukue browse angalie Insta, what's new, WhatsApp nini, content nini naweza tengeneza nini, you get. So we have differences, but our differences are based on the era yenye tumebringiwa up in. I would be different as a millennial because that is how I've been brought up. You would be different as a Gen Z because that is what you found. Like you told me, you're not lazy because even ndivyo ulipata mambo ikienda hivyo. And the same as what is happening to the alphas. So we would be different, but we can borrow from each other. Maybe some creativity from the millennials. The Gen Zs would maybe lean back from social media. Ukiona it's too much, it's suffocating you, lean back.
But I think another challenge with Gen Z yenye tunazalan kutoka kwenyu ni story na kwa perseverance.
Yeah.
It's a big challenge. Hizi kuvumilia
inakuwa ngumu.
Kuvumilia bila
alafu
simu,
mnataka
whatever,
vitu hivi.
Vitu haraka haraka.
Spontaneous like zikuje zikikuja.
Ndo maana bad governance ikitusumbua kidogo sisi hao.
Ndio wao mmeenda kwa streets like it's not bad. Kuna place iko.
But I think millennials ikifika ni ku story na perseverance. I think you guys
what do you mean? Nimegrow up nikiwa mdogo sikuwa na stima. Giza iko unaenda kwa reverse venye unafungulia maji kwa tapa tingi.
But I think you guys used to exaggerate kidogo. Kwanza mkianza kutuambia vile mambo mnaenda shule.
Kwenda shule.
Sisi sijui tunavuka misijui mito 7.
Okay, I wouldn't say
but I think you guys used to exaggerate a lot.
But kuna wait, don't usiput off. Wewe unajua
mimi unasikia babako akikwambia unajua sisi tulikuwa tunangoja hata lightning ipige tuweze kusoma. Hatukuwa na stima, hatukuwa mlikuwa mnafanya nini mchana?
Sasa umeenda shule, umesikia Kim, umeenda shule, umerudi shule jioni, you have cows, you have river, you have all that. Mzazi hiyo kazi amekutegemea ni wewe utafanya. Una get? So ukiniuliza ni nini nilikuwa nafanya mchana
hiyo swali ni wadhini kwa sana uliza. Mnasemaga at night hatuko tuna study juu ya giza tunashika gawatera. Nashangaa mlikuwa mnafanya mchana nyinyi wapi?
Juu ni hizo as responsibilities zingine zote you have to be a part of it. If there is a kid you be mothering that kid.
But I think it's good mnatuambiaga ni vizuri mnatuadvise ku persevere.
Yeah, persevere.
Like msiko mna exaggerate.
It's not exaggerating. It's not
to story
ukweli. No one has exaggerated.
Kuna story mnatupeaga.
Would you believe kuna time niliingia shule when I was in class 1. Shule yenye nilikuwa naenda nilikuwa na viatu. So nilipata watu hawavai viatu. Know what I used to do? Kwa natoa viatu. So that I can fit in. Na get? It was that hard. Watu wameanza kuvaa viatu juzi tu tukiwa tu hiyo. Let me tell you. Acha nikwambie.
Niache kuita exaggeration.
Acha kuita hizo stories za jaba. These things were ni vitu ziko, ni vitu tume experience. It's not exaggerating. It's things you have experienced. I'm sure hata kwa net umeona watu imitate maybe wazazi wa kitambo the what they used to do. Hapo hakuna uongo. When you see it, that is the way it was. Hakuna difference. And I'm not that old. Unasikia mimi ni 190.
So ni kidogo tu ungekuwa Gen Z kidogo tu.
Kidogo maybe, you never know. But that was there at that point and we are talking maybe 30 years ago. Get? Ilikuwa hizo mambo unasikianga.
Niza ukweli. Tuache kuuza story zao.
No one is exaggerating. Trust me, hakuna ku-exaggerate. You used to yani
from at least ndajaribu nilikuwa naziamini sasa. Vile umeitetea yenyewe ni ukweli.
Trust me, hapo hakuna uongo. You had to be hardcore. You had to know how to persevere. All that was happening against you, but then again there is nothing else you knew what to do. Siku anajua right ati naweza pigwa na mzazi niende mahali ati niseme nimepigwa. What you get? It was not there. It was not a provision at that time. It was not haikuwa kitu ati mtu angefanya at that time. So we had nothing else to do but persevere all through that. Na hizo story unaonanga, believe them. Amini. Usione kama ni stories za jaba.
Vile umeniambia na consider kuziamini.
Try
vile umewatetea I'll consider kuamini.
Hizo vitu zilikuwa everything that you hear in the internet and stuff like that. Watu kupigwa hadi unalala nje, unalala juu ya mti. We hizo si story. Real life. Yeah.
And maybe as we wrap up today's episodes, final words to fellow millennials Na bimbi kwa Gen Zs. Yeah.
I think for millennials, there's a challenge of maybe unaona hiyo perseverance inafanyanga tukue sasa hata sisi tuna get in a bracket of mental health also kidogo hivi, because now you feel pressured to be a certain way. Umefika mahali in life where you thought maybe at 30 or 35 I'm supposed to have this, I'm supposed to have achieved this. It's a challenge also on that era.
Because I think even to most millennials, ni very rare kupata millennials wakidivorce, unlike young couples.
Yeah.
So unapata millennials who persevere.
Yeah, they persevere. Maybe there is violence, maybe in your marriage. In
the young couples kidogo
yeah, you get
vurugu kidogo.
Yeah. But there's that percentage that would just leave, you know. Hata kwa hiyo era bado kuna watu wenye wako open minded and stuff like that. So maybe let us be more lenient on ourselves. We sometimes feel like tuko hivi na hivi ndivyo tulibringiwa up, so this is what you are supposed to be. Watu wakuwe lenient on themselves. Mental health, bringing up now children and who are Gen Zs or Alphas, and it's a different thing from what we experienced. Tukuwe lenient on ourselves, tujipende na get. Yeah, I think that is something I would tell millennials. Gen Zs, well, Gen Z kidogo, they are good actually. Okay,
tunawateteaga hata haki zetu. Sisi ni watu wazuri.
Exactly, you are doing things that we were not able to do, or maybe millennials were not courageous enough to do, but you guys have done it, so it's a good thing. But then again, let's mind what we are absorbing from the internet, from our surroundings. Tukue very, very, very aware of what is happening. Kwa hizi since za life za internet, there's a lot happening. There are people being absorbed into very bad things, spiritualities that are not good. Naget. Kuna watu wanajiingiza kwa mambo si godly, naget, just because wako kwa hiyo space ya kuwa influenced na whatever is happening around them. Tukue very careful and let's mind our mental health. Without being mentally okay, then I think kuna shida. There's a problem. Yeah.
And maybe a shout out maybe to your friends, family, business.
Shout out. And a shout out nani? Maybe my man, my husband. What else? My kids, if they watch this, family, they have contributed so much to me being who I am right now. So, you get. I'm happy where I am. And thank you, by the way, for having me.
Thank you so much.
Say thank you for having me in this show. It's a great initiative. I like what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
You're bringing content. You're bringing perspective and topics that are diverse, different, and I'm your fan, by the way. I watch most of your podcasts. I watch them and very informative. Keep doing it.
Let's appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Mi ukiniambia nifanye hii yote, siwezi. But now you have the capacity, you have the time, you have the uko kwa hiyo space. So do the best you can. Influence positively. That is what I would tell you.
So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too.
Kukubali mwito.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tumeona gap si kubwa sana. It's something we can try to.
We are more similar. Actually, it's not more of a gap, ni venye tu it's a stereotype ati hii age between hii na hii wako hivi,
Na
hii
mindsets
age between,
again.
it's a mindset is what we think, but at the end of the day the differences are brought about by ni nini tulipata. It's like the parents of wenye walijipata wako kwa the rebellion, the Mau Mau before the, what is it called, independence. How do you think those people, they were built for that kind of hardness? That kind of hardness, what they Kenya walipata at that time. So it's not much of a difference. It's just that the times are changing as we grow. So there gets to be those differences as we move forward.
Again, thank you so much for sharing that with us.
You're very welcome.
And to our BTL TV viewers, whether you're watching us from BTL TV or YouTube, Instagram, Reels, Facebook, anywhere you're watching us from, we really appreciate for you being a loyal viewer, a loyal subscriber, a loyal follower. And kama uja subscribe, tulisema ni hatia kuingia 2025 kama uja subscribe. Finya the subscription button na kabel. Any new episode ikikuja, tunakuwa tunakunotify. And we want reviews. Guys, wacha tupate reviews zenyu, what you think about millennials versus Gen Z. And until next week, be safe.